Hi, I'm Lucas Gilkey with Hometown Hero, and today we're going to talk about Arkansas SB 358, quite possibly the worst hemp bill ever proposed in the history of the country. And yeah, there's a lot to cover. Thanks for joining us. We'll start now. So we're going to start with the very first sentence of this bill, which states the intent is to, quote, prohibit the production and sale of intoxicating substances derived from industrial hemp. This goes way beyond alleged, quote, intoxicating hemp products. Creates insane regulatory hoops for all hemp products, including CBD, CBN, and CBG. There will literally be nothing that survives this bill. This is a kill all hemp everything bill. And they never actually define intoxicating, which figure that one out on your own, I guess. It's obviously prohibitionist. This is very sort of old, traditional, prohibitionist thinking and the way that they're trying to ban cannabis in the state. So the weird part is Arkansas actually has some marijuana programs, medical if I'm not mistaken, but in the same breath, they've determined that hemp just shouldn't exist in this state. So we're going to get a little bit more into the details of some of the worst parts of this bill, but this one is pretty bad. So they define industrial hemp as a tetrahydrocannabinol concentration of no more than 0.3% of the hemp-derived cannabidiol on a dry weight basis or in any finalized product. So most states, the federal government, everybody looks at it as 0.3% delta-9 THC as the legal limit. They're actually converting that over to CBD, which they also spelled CBD wrong somehow in there. Anything is possible in SB 358. They're literally just trying to kill everything they possibly can, and that makes it blatantly obvious. Section 8 defines, quote, a hemp-derived product, end quote, as a product that contains greater than 0.1% THC. So they're even lowering now, so they've got a 0.3% cap on CBD, they've got a 0.1% cap on THC, removes all flower from the definition of hemp-derived product. So, I mean, this is just a game over bill. They're literally just trying to make everything illegal. Here's a quote from it. A hemp-derived product shall not be combined with or contain any of the following. A, any liquid, hydrocolloid, animal-based substance, thickener, sweetener, flavoring, synthetic product, propylene glycol, VG, vegetable glycerin, or other non-hemp-derived substance. C, a percentage of tetrahydrocannabinol as to create a danger of misuse, overdose, accidental consumption, inaccurate dosage, or other risk to the public, end quote. They also spelled THC wrong, again. No hemp-derived product can be combined or mixed with any non-hemp-derived substance, plus all other limitations effectively bans all hemp products currently sold. Very true. So Section 8 of this bill defines a hemp-derived product as a product that, quote, contains greater than 0.1% THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. So they aren't necessarily setting a cap on THC, but they're saying anything over 0.1% THC is now a hemp product. So it's creating a conflicting definition of hemp. It also removes all flower from the definition of a hemp-derived product. This bill gets weirder and weirder the deeper we get into it, and it sounds like, from what we can tell, it looks like they're trying to ban hemp, but they don't even fully understand what they're trying to ban or how it works. Here's a quote from it. Quote, a hemp-derived product shall not be combined with or contain any of the following. A, any liquid, hydrocolloid, animal-based substance, thickener, sweetener, flavoring, synthetic product, propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, or other non-hemp-derived substance. C, a percentage of THC as to create a danger of misuse, overdose, accidental overconsumption, inaccurate dosage, or other risk to the public, end quote. They also spelled THC wrong, again. No hemp-derived product can be combined or mixed with any non-hemp-derived substance. So this bill is, the reason it's so bad is it essentially bans everything. There's nothing that's going to make it through this. SB 358 is the most cumbersome permitting licensing of any product we've ever seen. There are 6 pages in this bill of what somebody has to do to get a license, and it looks like it's designed so nobody ever gets a license. Companies must report any changes in corporate structure. Any of the C-level people in the company changes, they have to be notified. It voids your license, by the way, and you have to reapply. Wholesalers must hold all hemp transaction documents for 10 years. Retailers must hold all hemp transactions and transfer documents forever, for eternity. Is that, oh, okay. That's an interesting time frame. Section 15, contingent effective date. is the craziest clause we've seen yet. It states that this act shall become effective only upon the certification of the Arkansas Attorney General that the state of Arkansas is currently enjoined from enforcing sections 2 through 5 of this act relating to Delta 8. So if a court grants a temporary restraining order or injunction to protect our businesses from this ban, then the hemp regulations in this bill are triggered. They're essentially trying to remove any kind of judicial checks and balances because they know that we sued in Texas and we overturned essentially what was tried to be done illegally in Texas with regards to hemp because they did it outside the legislative session and created laws. They are actually writing into the bill that if we sue them, there's these other crazy regulations that get triggered and go into effect. I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that was legal. We're going to have to check with our lawyers and make a side note on this video and confirm that that's legal. I am assuming because they put it in this bill, they've done it before and there is some legal backing to it, but that is pretty wild. That's something I've never even heard of before. So this bill is a pretty wild one. They're also charging $10,000 licensing fees, and if anything changes within the company, you have to repay the $10,000 because your old license is void immediately, or I think within like 30 days. So you have to reapply, pay another $10,000 to try and get another license, hope they grant it to you, hope that there's no downtime in the process of getting the new license versus old license, because then your company's not legally allowed to operate in Arkansas. It gets a little wild too, because as you're pulling CBD or really anything out of hemp, you're going to cross the 0.3% CBD threshold, making the product illegal, and you can't dilute it down because you aren't allowed to add anything to it. So it's effectively a complete ban on everything. And this is by far one of the worst bills we've seen. I mean, it's pretty obvious that we're being told that this comes from the medical marijuana industry in Arkansas, which doesn't surprise me. I would hope that the medical marijuana industry had a better understanding of hemp and how it works, because there's some stuff in here that makes it pretty obvious that they don't understand cannabis very well, which is concerning because they are selling medical products and they don't understand what they're selling. So there's that. This thing just keeps going and keeps going. This is very, very concerning, and we need to keep an eye on this. We have a strategy in place to essentially try and get rid of this in Arkansas, and we're going to be working on it pretty actively. But this is concerning, and this is something that everybody should be looking out for in the states that you're in. There are more than likely other prohibitionist states. They're going to try and copy things out of this bill and put it into place. We're going to continue to fight in every single state like we always do. We'll keep our eyes open. And at some point, I would like to do sort of a state-by-state update and let everybody know what's going on in all the different states. Not every state has a legislative session this year, but many do. And so, it's very important that we're aware of what's going on in each state, aware of what horrible legislation is being proposed, because there are copycats. They will try and replicate it and put it in effect in their state, especially if it works, which it looks like it might actually pass in Arkansas, and we're going to have to deal with it in a different way, which we'll figure out, and we'll make everybody aware of that sort of as it happens in the future. So just wanted to thank you for your time. We really wanted to make everybody aware of this bill because it is so absolutely horrible for our industry. It's very important that we go out of our way to kill things like this and make people aware that this is not okay and they can't do this. So I wanted to thank you for your time. As always, thank you for joining us, and happy hunting.